So, Om Shanti again and welcome. The art of asserting the self. I'm going to share some slides and we will actually start out with a reflective exercise. What does it mean to you to be assertive? What is it that you understand that it means? If I'm assertive, how do I feel? What are my thoughts? What does it mean to me? Okay, so, and if you have pen and paper, feel free to write down a few words. Otherwise, you can do it in your mind in a reflective manner. So to be assertive, what does that mean to us? And we will, I think you need more time, couple of moments.
We are ready.
And maybe recall a moment in your life when you think that you were assertive. How did you experience yourself? What was the response coming back? What was the situation? And your inner experience, your feelings, your thoughts. Okay, so someone on Zoom, Claire on Zoom, was sharing to speak with truth, courage, and quiet confidence. That's very beautiful. Is there anyone else who would like to share? And you will have to use the microphone.
To stand up for yourself and not be afraid to ask for things or to ask for help.
Yeah, you understood. I need to increase the volume a little bit. I couldn't hear it. Yes, if you can kindly repeat.
To stand up for yourself and not be afraid to ask for things that you need or to ask for help from other people. I believe that that's also being assertive, is not being afraid to ask for help if you need it.
I agree with you. I agree with you. And it's already touching on an aspect that we want to explore a little bit more deeply today.
It means to express your opinion about something respectfully and kindly, if possible,
Yeah.
but preferredly.
Yeah, exactly. That's already coming very close to the core of not just being assertive, but to bring a different level to it. And there is even one deeper aspect to it. Yes.
To get your opinion across without being aggressive. Yeah.
Hold it close. Hold it close. Is it on?
To get your opinion across without being aggressive, yet being open-minded to others.
Beautiful. Very beautiful. Is there anyone else who would like to share?
Sister,
Yes.
it is almost the same. It is like words have to be very much awarefully spoken, gentle, sensitive, and truthful.
Yeah. Yeah. Microphone. Microphone. No, but those who are on Zoom want to hear.
To express your needs.
Just not to be arrogant.
Mm. Yes, there was someone on Zoom who
Sorry, yes, I said to express what you need.
to express what you need, right? Not to be aggressive, not to be arrogant, but bring in respect, kindness, courage, confidence, to speak with an inner. It's interesting you use the word quiet confidence. Is there anyone else who would like to share? It seems to me that we are already aligned and we can, go into explore some deeper aspects or refine certain aspects in the context of being assertive. So let us do a meditation practice, and we will start out with something very, very simple, a mindfulness experience. This is simply to get us settled, centered. So first of all, we sit quietly and in a comfortable position, not too comfortable. And keep the mind, keep the back straight. And if you want to, you can keep your eyes open, but if it's not so easy, then close your eyes. And consciously relax the body. And sorry, someone is on the door. It's okay if I don't hear it.
I can do it as nearby in case somebody comes.
So again, sorry for that. Sit relaxed and take notice of your environment. Now bring your attention consciously, for example, to the lightening in the room. It's like activating my physical sense organs and consciously connect at this point to the environment. Feel the temperature. And look around in the space, the room you are in. And take note. Consciously become aware of certain objects in the room. The sound, maybe there are some background noises. And as you do so, the aim is to do it without judgment, without commenting, mental commenting. It is just what it is. the temperature, simply to take note how it feels. Then using my ears to check on the sounds. Again, being non-judgmental, simply becoming aware. Then the object, one or two objects of my choice that you see in the room, you become consciously aware, take note. This, what it is. It's neither good or bad, beautiful or not beautiful, this or that. We go beyond all of these labels. Any of the sense perceptions is just what it is. This practice right now is simply to become aware of it and hold the focus. Stay with that sensual experience and move to the next one from the eyes, sounds, the ears, feeling, temperature. And then we come closer to the body. Consciously take note, become aware of your body sitting in this chair. And now scan your muscles from that beginning from the toes all the way up to the neck, to the facial muscles. And if there's any tension, give permission to relax the muscles, let go. And as I do so, beginning my feet, the legs, upper body, see if you can hold the focus, the attention, moment by moment, as you scan the body and give permission, set the intention to relax. And then we become even more subtle. Take note of your breathing. I consciously inhale and then consciously exhale. And then let's do this for a couple more times, slowly, but with awareness, with presence. Take a deep breath in. And then fully and slowly, gradually exhale. The mind has become calm. As I aim to keep the focus, to hold the attention, in this case now, on my breath, I inhale and exhale. Again, a reminder to the muscles. Bring the consciousness to the muscles in your bodies. and the permission to relax, to let go. And then bring your consciousness, your awareness back to the breathing and become the observer. Observe for a couple of moments silently how you breathe in and breathe out. Follow the rhythm of your breath consciously. Be awake, aware. Be the active observer or witness of your own breathing. Do this for a few more moments. Keep the body relaxed. And remind yourself that physically and subtly I am in a safe space. There is no danger. I'm safe. I feel light. I feel free. I am in the present moment, awake and alert, relaxed. Om Shanti. When we practice to be when we practice being assertive, is in any family context, work context, in any settings where we need to express ourselves, where I choose to express myself, I actually want to be assertive. When someone crosses our boundaries or sharing any, it has been mentioned before, if you want to express in whatever setting it is, whether with one person or there are more people sitting around, you want to share your opinions, your ideas. Ideally, I think we would like to do this in an assertive way. Many of us have not been born being assertive. At least there's margin for improving. And I think our personality traits, they're very much connected to our upbringing, to the cultural, religious, social, educational setting, family. And especially, female gender. Those beings in these female bodies, we have been, for many of us, it might be even more so challenging to express the self. And that's very much not only, but also cultural. There's a connection to the cultural, social upbringing. If I don't do that naturally, if I am not in my power, if I am not if there is not a natural confidence. Maybe in some way there is some confidence, but I don't experience it all the time in all the settings. That means there is something at a deeper level. I'm not sure, I'm hesitant. There might be some fear of coming out, of expressing the self. And in that context, before we, even at the level of thinking, because ideally we want to think first before we speak, right? At least this is something that we are practicing, to be more conscious, to be more in control of what and how to express. And these very simple mindfulness practices, you can do it anytime, anywhere, but it helps to calm down, to get settled, to become more present. It's calming down the mind. We'll do a couple of more. We're going to move a little bit more into meditation throughout the workshop. It's good to integrate few moments wherever you are. Integrate it into your life. Make it a practice to first calm the system down so that I can use my abilities in a best possible ways. Thinking becomes more clear. Because whether it's learning or improving of being assertive, like I said, there are some barriers maybe that need to be overcome, some challenges. There are challenges from the outside, but there are also challenges from the inside. And from the inside, it's mostly, when there's fear, when there are doubts, there's anxiety, you are unsure. It affects the body. And to calm body and mind down, it's good to do these short exercises. So I think we agree that that whole aspect of how do we express ourselves has a lot to do. It's all about, or has a lot to do with how do we communicate, right? And probably most of you are aware that we are not only communicating through words, but simultaneously, even before or even when speaking, there are other levels where communication is also happening at other levels at the same time. Our vibration, the atmosphere that I bring with me wherever I am. Sorry, I thought someone said something. Our attitudes and we carry attitudes we're not even necessarily aware that we have them, that we are using them. So what's the energy that I am expressing, radiating? The energy field that I'm carrying with me, of what quality is that? And if I'm very much under the influence of fear and there's contraction, I may not radiate, but the vibrations of fear and anxiety are also going to reach. And so to be assertive, where do we start? How do we want to express ourselves? And a key aspect to bring out those qualities that many of you have mentioned and to strengthen myself in those is to make yourself consciously aware. And of course, I have to first reflect on it, but who am I? What am I in terms of my qualities? What is it that I stand for? What are my values? What is it that I ultimately want to express? What is it that I am looking for? What is it that I want to achieve? What's the goal? Even beyond this conversation setting or meeting setting, or you have you express something among family members or friends. They are short-term, but there are also long-term goals. But what is it that I want to bring across? What is it that I want to actually express? Because, you know, I'm going back to this example of when we grow up. Now, the little one, children hear what the caregiver is saying, but the energy of the caregiver is not supporting the words. The actions are not supporting the energy, the words that are being expressed. So I'm getting two different messages. And children, when they are on the receiving end of that, is not very pleasant, creates a lot of confusion, does not help them to grow, to flourish, to unfold, to emerge their potential. Like any form of energy contracts and it expands. Contraction is when there is fear, when there is anxiety, when there is uncertainty, there's tension, is contraction. And when there is relaxation, there is expansion. I start to radiate, I start to, the flower, you start to, you become aware about the fragrance of the flower, and it starts to exude beauty, fragrance. And same is with us human beings. And at any given moment, wherever we are, with whomever we are communicating, the more alignment there is between the words I speak, the feelings I have, and the energy I carry with me, the aura, my energy field, and what I do. If there is one message coming through, if your words are supported by your feelings, the thoughts in your mind, your overall energy, then there will be a very pleasant experience for yourself, but also for the other person. Because on a subtle level, they're receiving one message. There is no confusion. Now, for example, an unpleasant habit that actually many apply, not even knowing that they are doing that, is manipulation. Manipulation of feelings. I say one thing, but I want them to feel in a different way. So to assert myself, being assertive, I have to know who I am, what I stand for, but also I have to be clear about my rights. But then you have to bring those two together. Just to know my rights doesn't justify or give me permission to assert myself in an aggressive manner, right? And it's a story of one of the brothers. He's a coordinator of many centers on one of the continents, and he shared several times from his own experience. And it's a very nice example. It was before he started his spiritual journey with the Brahma Kumaris. Some of us were very actively involved in protesting and being an activist of representing certain opinions and beliefs. But many times we are not aware, we're not really aware actually, that I'm protesting for peace, I'm standing up for peace and non-violence, but I myself, I'm violent, and we do it even in a violent way. So I claim my rights, I use my rights, now relating more to in the worldly setting, different situations, there are different scenarios, different rights. You make use of them. But if I don't do it in an appropriate manner, and what is appropriate? I think it's natural, originally, it's natural to us to be nonviolent. And everyone is happy if they're respected, if there's kindness, if there's a loving energy. When we meet at that level, right? Now, looking at being assertive in this way, that means I want to do that in a kind manner, in a respectful manner, because this is something I value. I value to be respected, and I value to give respect. I want to do it in a non-aggressive, in a kind manner. But when it comes to asserting the self, the context, not always, but many times, can be not so kind, right? Not necessarily, but for example, if someone crosses your boundaries, or one of the boundaries becomes invasive, it would be very useful to assert yourself, to voice yourself. Because if I don't, especially if this is in a relationship or in a setting where you meet this person more frequently, and this person has this tendency of doing that, right? So there's a repetition. Now, if I don't voice myself, then I will, because there is a reaction. If someone is invasive, if someone is disrespectful, there's a reaction. And if I don't express myself, voice myself in an assertive way, where one is to just, react. But if I don't express myself, I start to have a lot of negative thoughts. I may not say anything, but my inner world starts to get colored by an energy that is not very positive. And we probably also start to suppress certain feelings. And then at one point, there's a trigger, and there's a very, very intense emotional reaction. So it's part of developing, cultivating a high self-esteem to express myself in an appropriate, non-violent, respectful manner. it's good not to overdo it, and it's good not to, what's the opposite? One is if you're over assertive, there's an influence coming from the ego, right? From feeling superior, better, higher. And if I don't assert myself enough, then I'm actually influenced from the inferior part of the ego. That's where we have the tendency to hold on to many things. And so I'm setting the context, and even more so, but the question of the connection between being assertive and what is it that I need to let go. So take a moment and reflect for yourself. And maybe remember a moment in your life where there was a challenging situation and where you took the courage to assert yourself, where you stood up for yourself. However well it worked out, it doesn't matter. But looking at that now from a different perspective, maybe I was able to let go. Maybe there's more I need to let go in order to be kind as I'm asserting myself. But what are some of the examples that we also need to learn to and be willing to let go of in order to be in our power, in order to assert the self, to express, communicate without attacking anyone, without being aggressive, without rejecting. And also think about how forgiveness fits in here. When we forgive, do we also need to let go of something? Yes, no. What does it mean to forgive?
Okay, in my opinion, okay, you say let go. Sometimes you do have to forgive, but sometimes it gets to a point where you try to express yourself to a person what's really bothering you, or you want their opinion, and it's like they still block you out, or
Keep the microphone close to you, to the mouth.
they still block you out, or it's like they block you out, or they don't even give you a chance to express your opinion anymore. It's like high self-esteem or whatever. So a person like that, whether it be family or friend, I have to let go because of my insanity. And I respect what level they are in their spirituality, but I have to let go to keep my sanity. Thank you.
Exactly right. So
Yeah, also it means you've made peace with your past situation and person, and you've unblocked that space for something better to come, and you've just accepted it.
I'm not sure acoustically, sorry. Can you repeat it?
Yeah, you've made peace with the situation, you've accepted the situation, you've given the person, and you've unblocked that space for something better to come. So it just simply means it's not bothering you anymore. It's not about what and who. It's just that and the gravity is just that it doesn't bother you anymore, and you've accepted it. You've moved back.
Sometimes it does bother us. And we are not so easy with letting go and accepting what is. Like, for example, if there's a continuous, if a certain behavior of disrespecting, of rejection is being played out. So I think that is one of the scenarios, or if someone, you know, especially those who are closer to us, when they say certain things or behave in a certain way, it hurts. So we then hold on to what someone did or how they are behaving. And one, especially when it comes to let go, and which is essential in order to forgive, where I choose, like you were saying, I accept what is. I accept the person as the person is, whatever happened. But I let go of holding on to believing or saying or thinking you did that to me. So that's the part where I let go, because if I don't let go of what I believe that you did wrong, I am in a cage. I am like in a jail. I can never ever be free. And similarly, when someone keeps playing out certain behaviors or tendencies that are very disrespectful, to also accept that doesn't, because this is something, this is a behavior of that person. I must not, you know, come down or get trapped, pulled into that kind of energy. So it's the acceptance of differences, and not everyone is kind. However, when you bring in the spiritual aspect, then at one point, ultimately, this is also a being of goodness. It's not always that this person is behaving in this way. And then every negative expression is actually coming from a place of darkness, of place of pain, a place of sorrow. So there must be something going on in the heart, something that happened in the past, that that person is reacting like that. But actually, it has really nothing to do with you. It's
Sister, you are frozen.
Okay, I think we lost you, Ines.
Yeah. We can't hear.
Oh, Jeanette, just pick up the phone. So the understanding that whatever someone is doing, that one is responsible for what they are doing. It's their choices. I must not become the judge of that one. And so I also have to forgive myself, and that I was accepting if someone is giving me a rotten fruit, a rotten apple, and I accept it. Whose mistake is it?
The other person.
Huh?
The other person for giving you a rotten apple.
But who is accepting it?
The person who accepted is the problem. Yeah.
Yes, so why am I giving you, offering you a rotten apple? But then why am I accepting it? So as long as we are in a world of duality, we refer to that of being body conscious. We are influenced by ego. There is always the superior or the perpetrator, and there's always a victim. And both are doing wrong. So what we are learning in spirituality is I have a choice. And not only have I a right to choose, but it's my responsibility. What I take into my heart is my responsibility. This is also part of being in my power, where I take charge, where I take responsibility for what I take in physically, what I accept, what I don't accept, what food I eat, how I... Someone wants to push something in my mouth. No. Why will I allow that? So someone is emotionally not stable, is emotionally is angry and blaming me, throwing things at me. Is that one's story? Has nothing to do with me. And when it comes to asserting the self, I find is a key, a very, very important aspect to have clarity about who I am, what I stand for, what is it that I value, and to have a sense of self that is separate from the other one. In other words, if my mind is all consumed by what someone is doing or what they did, I cannot see my own self anymore. I cannot forgive. But I'm consumed by someone's wrongdoing. And the more I am engrossed in that, I'm thinking about it, I'm speaking about it, I keep remembering what that one did. It becomes so big. My feelings get more and more spoiled. My thoughts are negative. I am in a jail. So what we're learning in spirituality, and we're going to touch on that a little bit, is to develop a sense of self and to take responsibility for myself and stay connected to myself as I am in relationship with anyone. And to take responsibility for the self has a lot to do with standing up for what is true to me. And if I value kindness, if I value respect, then this is what I'm standing up for. So this is something that I take the responsibility to uphold that for myself. And in the same way, I'm upholding it also for others. But if someone chooses to be different, if someone chooses to be not nice with me, can I give permission to that one to be the way they choose to be in this moment? Maybe they just had, I don't know, maybe someone died, someone got hurt, they lost something, they are upset because something happened in their life. Some people just have the habit of being upset. But the whole idea that I must not just take in what's coming towards me, but I have a choice. And for that, I first have to stabilize within my own self and remind myself of my own goodness. Yes.
I used to be a special ed teacher, and the years I was doing special ed, it really, these people, this community really teaches you a lot about yourself and about humanity. So I just want to say is that I could say a lot, but I've learned a lot. And also, this world needs a lot of healing, even myself constantly, you know, and I even had counseling. To me, this is a counseling session. If you could take one thing you say today from here, all of us, you have learned something to become a better person for humanity.
Mm. You know, when we came up with the topic for this workshop, my thoughts were very different. But over the past 72 hours, I had different experiences. And in my own personal journey, I got now very deeply connected with this whole topic of being assertive. And I think it's something that we need to consciously develop, cultivate, practice. And for that, it is deeply, very, very important to expand my horizon, expand my mind, come out of boxes, and gain more and more clarity, understanding, and clarity for who I am, but also learn to stay connected to yourself. Because if I am not connected to myself, if I'm not connected to my inner goodness, to what it is that I value, I become very judgmental, I become very critical, and we become very afraid. Someone shares their opinion that is different from what I believe, and we feel challenged, we feel threatened. And then we start to defend the self. That's when, you know, when conflict arises, it's because of being reactive. So what we have been overall talking about this morning, I find has a lot to do with intention. Even if I assert myself, but what's the energy behind that? What is it that I ultimately want to bring across? Is it just to prove myself? Just to demonstrate that I am here and I want to be heard and seen? To assert myself, I can do it in an aggressive manner and I will hurt the other one? Or is my deeper intention to bring benefit? And I think, how do you feel about it? How do you connect with asserting yourself and bringing benefit? Does that make sense to you? Can you connect to that thought, that idea? Whom am I benefiting? Why would I want to benefit? If I don't bring benefit, I may cause hurt. Is there anyone who would like to share their thoughts?
Comes from ego.
Microphone.
Comes from ego. I think if this chair, I think to be assertive, that if your intention is to, like they have written, prove myself or to be right, to hurt, to benefit. So these are all ego talking, because you are showing your ego to express yourself.
On the one hand, I'm asserting myself. I'm standing up for what is right, right? But when I connect, and not each time when we do that are we heard. We are successful with asserting the self. Many times it becomes provocative because I do it I'm actually attacking someone. I'm being aggressive in asserting myself. We have to start somewhere, right? But the more I explore and come to understand of my own self, if we start to integrate the spiritual component here, if we just bring a little bit more awareness, a little bit more thought, awareness to the self, about the self, I would think no one would intentionally want to hurt. We don't want to be aggressive. Now, some believe you have to be aggressive, you have to get angry and be aggressive in order to be heard or to get certain things done. But I'm not so sure about that. Kindness, respect, kindness, understanding, compassion. These are all qualities. If we use them, if we care about others, if we care about their well-being also, beyond what they are expressing sometimes, I think that's where benefit starts. Because, and then I may get cooperation. Others start to cooperate with me, but not out of fear. Maybe in a work setting that, you know, you use aggression in order to get your team members to comply and to do what they need to do, what you want them to do. But parents also, this is a big topic. Aggression in education, anger, using force, using authority where I'm coming from. You have to listen to me because I am the older one. I know what is right. I know what you need. Now, all these tendencies and expressions not gonna allow the other one to emerge their potential, emerge their own true self, emerge what they can contribute to the world. For us to grow, I can choose to grow for me individually and bring benefit to myself. But then also if I want to do that, I will also be interested in the well-being of others. And the more I can take care of myself and express those qualities to others, towards others, there will be a beneficial outcome. They may not do exactly what I want or behave or change necessarily, because everyone has their choices, but they will have learned something, they will have attained something, they will have felt maybe accepted, heard. They may feel valued. And that could mean a lot for many people. So one is to assert myself from a place of, like you were saying, selfishness, ego. But there's another way to assert the self, where I stand up for certain qualities that I value in my life. And I'm not the only one on this planet. We are a community. There is love and care. There's consideration for everyone. And the more I understand myself, I also understand my rights. And my right is to express myself, but I don't have the right to it doesn't justify my wrongdoing. I don't have the right to punish. I don't have the right to even expect, demand from others. Let's see what is on the next. So here are here's some to connect to the goodness. That's where I bring in where we bring in the spiritual aspect, because it's very relative what is good, what is bad, and how is it possible to be kind, respectful all the time, even towards others when there's a negative expression. It all boils down to the question of who we are. And if we are spiritual beings, if I connect to my spiritual identity, I am actually connecting to my innate potential of goodness. It's part of the being. The original and innate qualities of every being, of every soul, of purity, peace, love, strength, power, wisdom. everyone, whenever they started their journey, they are beings of goodness. If I can hold that for my own self, because each one of us is making mistakes, each one of us, we have times where anger flares up, where we are not so kind, where we are ego-driven, insecure or arrogant, and you know, we also play out all sorts of behaviors and have all kinds of thoughts. But from a spiritual perspective, if I accept, if I have the courage, take the courage, if I accept that my spiritual self, that my spiritual identity is of that goodness, then I have every given moment, I have a resource, I have somewhere to go, I have to remind myself about this goodness, and I can draw from that. Because if that would not be true, that originally and innately we are that, why do we strive for it? Why do we want peace? Why do we look for love? But spiritual law says, I have a right to be peaceful. I have a right to be loved. I have the right to be happy, to be strong and wise, but I don't have the right to demand it from someone. So that means I have to connect to my inner self, connect to that pool of goodness, remind myself about it, and uphold that for myself. And that's what I stand up for. But it doesn't mean that I become the doormat of everyone or someone. Doesn't. And if I don't express myself, if I don't learn to express myself appropriately and hold things in, I may even become a bully, because I'm accumulating, suppressing a lot of emotions, accumulating a lot of negative thoughts. And then I will start to talk about others, I'll start to complain, I will start to be critical. I can even become, in an extreme case, a bully. So to be spiritually strong means to remain soft, to keep my heart open, to connect on the basis of love, to be loving, caring, respectful, kind, sweet. But it needs to be balanced. And that's part of it, of how do I protect myself so that I don't get hurt. I don't come under the influence of ego. And that's where my rights come in. And that understanding that I take responsibility for myself and I have the power to choose. But when I choose, what is it that I choose? I have to be clear about what is it that I value, what is true to me. And so then I am standing up for that, but I have to do that with that same quality. So if my thoughts and my feelings, my mind is all consumed with the wrongdoing of someone, then how can I assert myself, stand up for who I am? I'm disconnected from myself. I will just go into reaction and defend myself. To be spiritually powerful and to assert myself has a lot to do to be in my power. And to be in my power means that I'm connected here, I'm stable in here. And one is I don't deceive myself, I don't deceive others, and I know exactly what I take. I will check before taking something into my heart. Understanding. Now, this morning in our morning class, we were talking a little bit, and I'm just remembering, someone is saying something nice to you. So because something that you did, that you said, they felt happy, they felt maybe cared for, they felt appreciated, I don't know, whatever. They make you a compliment. They say something nice about you. Actually, what someone says about you, that nice thing that they express, oh, you were so sweet, you cared for me so much, you made me so happy, has nothing to do with you. It's an expression of what that person has perceived, that person's experience of you at that given time. And they are sharing that with me. It's something someone has experienced in connection with me. It's what they experience, they express it. It has nothing to do with me. So, but if I believe, oh, so they're making a compliment towards me, and now I get all excited about it, and the next moment someone will make a comment about me which is not so nice. I will take that into my heart equally the way I accept the praise. But in either case, what that person is saying, what they are throwing towards me, whether it's something nice they have experienced, or they perceived me in a different way, they judge me differently, and it's not so nice. It's about that person. It's not about me. It's not about you. What someone says about you or to you. I don't know. Can you relate to that? Can you see that? The same when I express something, whether it's pleasant or unpleasant, it's what's going on in my world is how I perceive someone, how I perceive you, and what I then choose to give back to you or not, or express towards you or not, but is independent of you. And if we start to realize that, if we start to understand that, we will not just blindly take things in our heart of what someone is saying, doing, and so on. So another way to express this is something that we are learning is to, one moment there, is we pay attention of not giving sorrow, of expressing ourselves positively, nicely, respectfully. But we don't really learn of not taking sorrow. How do we protect the self? How do we protect our love, our peace, without being defensive? And that's where this concept comes in and becomes very relevant and very important. It's my responsibility to discern if you are lying to me or not. If I don't discern it and get trapped by your lie and then blame you, then it's my own fault. These are deeper matters that I'm talking about here. But when you think about it, it's actually very empowering, because whatever I experience, whatever my thoughts are, whatever my feelings are, whatever my experience is at any given moment in life, ultimately, it's my choice. It may trigger something, might feel a little bit challenging, but the very good news is that if it is my choice and I start to awaken, then I'm awakening to, I will start to make different choices. I will pay attention and I'll start to more consciously be aware of what I am doing, what my give and take is. And ultimately, that whole aspect of asserting is very much connected to the law of cause and effect, the law of karma. And that's where intention plays a big, big part, because ultimately, whatever my intent is, right, accordingly, my action, and then that's what will come back to me. So, yes, I did not manage my time very well. I went too much into many details, but maybe just come back to this whole aspect here of asserting and bringing benefit. If I assert myself, I stand up for what is right, true to me, right? And I remain authentic. I remain true in that. And my intention is to bring in benefit. That means it's a very high level, but to give us the bigger picture and the bigger outlook, something to, move towards, to start to think about it. If to bring benefit means that I care about the other one. Yes, you may have crossed my boundary, but that doesn't mean, again, and that's connected if I'm grounded in my own inner truth and I am a well-wisher for others, that just because you crossed my boundary doesn't mean that you are bad. For whatever reason, under some influences, but I still have good wishes for you. So when I say something in order to assert myself, instead of hurting someone's feeling or proving myself, am I interested in bringing benefit to the other one that may not have expressed themselves in their highest quality? But for that, it is very important that even though I may not assert myself in words, but I have done it within my own self. I have repositioned myself internally, and I'm clear who I am and where I am. I am not taking in and then hold against you what you just did or what you just said. But I also know that if I say something now, you will not take it very well because you're under some influence. So do I have the patience, the acceptance and tolerance to wait that when you are then also more calm and relaxed at another time, to let you know that, you know what, 2 days ago when you said this or this and this is how I felt, where you assert yourself, but at that time the other side is also more receptive to hear. And they may consider thinking about their own actions, learning from it and doing it better. So if I assert myself just aggressively, it's just all about me. You know, but we are all in the same boat. And if we are able to bring more kindness across, yes, including our own selves, we're not always expressing ourselves on the highest level. We're not always showing our best part. So can I forgive myself? And in the same way, can I also forgive others? But that doesn't mean that I become the doormat for someone. And especially if there's when there's kind of abuse, when misuse, when someone keeps crossing your boundaries repetitively, then you certainly, you know, have to stand up, and with firmness, you have to assert yourself. Okay. So just as a reminder, 4 ways to practice assertiveness, remind myself, who am I? And of course, this is a big question, lot to explore at this level. What is it I'm standing for? What's my intention? But also to assert myself with respect and kindness. What is it that I may have to let go of, so that I'm able to do it in a respectful manner, and in a kind manner. Yeah, we will do this now. Sorry, wrong one. Actually, maybe I'll show you the last slide. It's nice. And then we will do a closing meditation. If I get this back to a screen presentation. Okay. So, to close, it is summer, enjoy your summer. But then also when you leave from here or from Zoom space, leave with hopefully in some inspiration, some interest, some reminders of consciously connect to your inner strength, connect to your goodness, maybe even explore it a little bit more, and to practice over the summer, asserting yourself with respect and kindness. And these are the main qualities of our innate goodness. And then we have many, many beautiful qualities that emerge from our innate love and peace and truth. And to use that in our interactions. Yeah, there are 2 comments on imposing. It's now retrospect, but that's another aspect. That's many times that what we, in order to be right, or, you know, we start to impose on others is being invasive, is being disrespectful. But to allow the other one to choose, and it's their choice, it's everyone's choice. And then on the other hand, also learning, for us, it's also a lot about learning to be okay that everyone is different, and not to have the need to feel threatened if someone believes or thinks differently, behaves differently. But for that, I have to be okay with who I am and what I am. I have to be okay with myself. And then I have the generosity, I have the power to accept and see the goodness and the willingness of everyone. You know, everyone has the right to be who they are. But when we are under the influence of ego, then, you know, everyone and everything has to dance the way I want them to. And that's where and many times we are simply not aware what we are doing. So this awareness practices and checking in with the self, checking my intention is a very good practice. Someone sent another comment. Okay, so I know it's time. Yeah, you want to say something, please.
I just want to say that when I do go to Peace Village, there's one exercise we do that I love, and I'm planning to go to a retreat. You know, despite this COVID that has happened, now we're starting to open up again, and I love being with Sister Cherry and stuff. I like the exercise we do where we look directly in each other's eye and we line up. He was talking about compliment. I think it could go two ways, depending on the person that's giving it. It can be an unresolved conflict that they have within them when you look at them, or it could be that they're bringing out your true purpose in life. So it can go, you know, either way. But like I said before, a co-worker introduced me to your organization, and I no longer work with her, but I am so grateful that she invited me to Peace Village, and I will be seeing you at Peace Village. Namaste.
Thank you. Okay, so those of you who have time, who want to stay on, we'll do a closing meditation. So again, just sit relaxed, consciously positioning the body. And I choose to take the next few moments to go on a journey inward. So I consciously give space to myself and I take my mind inward. I let go temporarily of even what has happened during the workshop or in 5 minutes what I will do. I just give myself few moments to go within and then visualize a beautiful beach, an empty beach, maybe with some nature around. And in front of us is the horizon. And I sit in my mind on that beach. Create that visual. Feel yourself to be truly sitting at the beach where I feel the breeze from the water. Soft wind cooling the skin. There's this beautiful ocean and deep blue sky. There's the sense of beauty, a sense of freedom and lightness. I just emerge in these feelings that are being reflected back to me, the qualities that are being reflected back to me of joy, of peace, of beauty, freedom. And there's also a sense of stillness that starts to emerge. Even physically, I start to relax. Sitting on this beach, there are no voices, just a little bit of a breeze. And then that immense vastness of that ocean. And then far in front, where the ocean and the sky seem to meet. And that's the point where ocean and sky seemingly meet. There's that one sparkle that is on the horizon. I focus on that sparkle. And I'm already immersed in these beautiful qualities. But now, instead of looking at the horizon, I bring the attention, I bring the focus right back on my forehead. All these qualities that nature is reflecting back to me. I recognize them. I enjoy, appreciate them. I value them because they remind me of my beauty, my own peace within, the freedom that I cherish. And as I hold the focus at the center of the forehead, can visualize that sparkling point right there. And I am that sparkling point. This body all around me. I'm in this body. And I, this living being, this spark of light, peace, love, beauty, power, wisdom, All these qualities are within me. Knowing that I am a source of goodness, knowing that I am innately good. I am light, complete and whole within myself, consciously connected to my eternal original goodness. I can now, as I look through the eyes, I can reflect that goodness back to nature, I'm bestowing love or joy onto nature, the elements. But I also reflect my inner goodness back onto every living being. Everyone is a being of light. And on our journey, we get influenced, we become weak, we forget. But we never lose our true innocence. We never lose our inner goodness. It only gets covered, suppressed. And as I now consciously reconnect to my inner peace, for example, I can start using it. I value it. I value that I am a being of peace. And as I express myself, I want this quality to be reflected in every thought, in every word, in every feeling, whatever I see. I choose peace within me, and I choose to see that peace in you. When I say Om Shanti, I choose to acknowledge that I am a peaceful being in this body, and I choose to see you in the same way. Om Shanti. So thank you very much for attending.
Thank
And you
you.
have a great weekend.
There still will be peace in the park on Friday.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you.
1 to 6.
Yeah, 1 to 6. I have to know this. I've been before.